So in this video, I want to explore why the ego, that thought of who you think you are in your skull, how it could all just be a big accident. It could be a consequence of the architecture. And so think about a reflex. So if you ever put your hand on something hot and then pull it away, you know what a reflex is, and you know that you didn't have anything to do with it. After it happened, then you could go back and think about it, but it happened without your thinking, and it can now actually happen without a brain. And so the reflex, some of the basic reflexes are just wired into the nervous system before it even gets to the brain. You have to respond so quickly that there's no time to think about it. So, okay, how did this turn into who we are? Well, what we did is we built on this system of reflexes, and we all go back to the same basic origins. And so I'm just going to read a quote here from the history of the human brain. All animals on Earth today, from bugs to fish to humans, evolved from a single common ancestor hundreds of millions of years ago that was probably similar to the modern sea sponge. And so we're all complex, overthinking sea sponges. Probably why I enjoy going to the ocean so much. Okay, so how did we make things so complex? One of the things that humans in particular did is we evolved brains that were capable of abstractions. And abstractions, I think, are going to be we're going to discover that we're making these. In other words, human beings are so good at this, but we don't know we're doing it because we mistake the abstraction for something that's in reality. So just consider something like a group. So you have 10 people, and then maybe in your mind you see them all as one. That's an incredible trick because it's not true. In physical reality, they're all individual people just standing there. But in our mind, we create the group, and the group exists only in the mind. But here's the trick. That trick alone ensured our survival because we were able to act and coordinate in terms of groups. And other humans who didn't have this ability were all on their own. But this trick involves at least two, well, they're really the same thing, but I'll describe each because they're just a little bit different. But this trick of abstraction includes pattern perception. So we're able to organize our perceptions into discrete objects. But really a lot of that is this bigger process of categorization where you take all the random wiggles in the reality, all the variations and differences, and then you ignore all that, focus on one quality, and then you're able to, again, create a group based on that organization. But again, the group doesn't exist in reality. It exists only in the mind, only as thought. So, okay, we get this trick and we get this trick that helps our survival. Then what? Well, at some point, this trick looked within. And again, if you have thoughts, it just assumed there must be a thinker. If there are actions and deeds through the day, it must assume that there must be a doer of those deeds. And so because it was so good at mental abstractions and it was so good at believing that these mental abstractions had a genuine existence, once it looked inward, it found the self, it found an ego, and it absolutely believed in its existence.